The music of Wits End from Warriors, the album, and we're going to be learning a bit more about just what is going to be happening on Saturday before the Clemson, South Carolina football game. We're talking right now with Justin Williams. He is the Executive Director of the South Carolina Entertainment and Music Hall of Fame, and a man connected with this benefit concert that will help the Wounded Warrior program. Justin, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Jim, for having me on tonight. I appreciate that.
Now, the South Carolina Clemson football game is Saturday at noon Eastern Time, and starting at 9 a.m., there's going to be some festivities beforehand, of course, the traditional tailgating, but one thing in particular, what is that?
Yes, we are going to be raising money for the Wounded Warrior program, and it's going to benefit the new album we have coming out, Warriors the Album, and the new single that was just released, Wounded Warrior. So all those proceeds go back to the Veteran Scholarships Forever, which is within the Wounded Warrior program.
For those who happen to be in Columbia, South Carolina for the Clemson, South Carolina football game, this will be at the South Carolina State Fairgrounds at 1200 Rosewood Drive in Columbia, South Carolina, Gate 12 near the intersection of Rosewood Drive and Bluff Road. Now, this is a free concert, I am told, by Wits End with special guest Justin Anderson. So where's the money-raising part that will help out the Wounded Warrior program?
Yes, so we'll have a concert stage. We'll have sound stage lighting there. We'll also have a Wounded Warrior tent there with memorabilia from the Hall of Fame there that we're donating, that people can come up and auction, write in their name if they like to auction off. We'll also have Wounded Warrior shirts there as well, dog tags, coins, things of that nature that'll help benefit, and all of those will be for sale to help benefit the program.
Now, you are a man of many talents and a variety of activities in addition to your work with the South Carolina Entertainment and Music Hall of Fame. You're a senior director at Pearl Street Records and also a voting member of the Country Music Association Awards. I'm wondering, what is your connection with Wits End?
So Wits End is actually a band that Pearl Street Records just signed out of Lancaster, South Carolina. They are a country outlaw band that we discovered this past summer, and we're happy to sign them at Pearl Street Records, and they are a veteran-based band, and we thought that they would be a great addition to the Warriors, the album, since this is about veterans and servicemen and women to get their voice heard through music. So this was a great addition for Pearl Street Records to sign them on and make them a part of this album.
How did you get connected with the Wounded Warrior program?
Okay, so the Wounded Warrior program is run by Dr. David Godbold. He is the CEO and National Director for the Wounded Warrior program. He founded the Hall of Fame, the South Carolina Entertainment and Music Hall of Fame, back in 1989. Him and Secretary of State Jim Miles for the state of South Carolina found this wonderful organization, and since then he was very active within our veterans, helping servicemen and women. He was appointed in the Wounded Warrior program back in, I believe, the early 2000s, and he really stepped into that role ever since September 11th and kind of stepped out of the entertainment business a little bit. And he discovered me about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, doing events, and he's like, we need someone like you to step into the role of the Hall of Fame and take this over to a new level. And here I am in 2019 helping get that reestablished and get all these inductees that we have coming here this first year.
It's a wonderful program, and by the way, the Wounded Warrior Project is at woundedwarriorproject.org, and this is a great way to help them and at the same time, of course, get set for the big football game, which, let's face it, in recent years, Clemson has been heavily favored in the game, but with these rivalry games, you never know who's going to come out on top.
You never know who's going to come out on top, so it should be a wonderful day on Saturday. We're hoping to have great festivities, live music, and just a good time to give back to our veterans on Saturday.
Yeah, that is really an important part of all of this. Again, to combine these two things together in this special contest. Tell us about a little bit more about Wits End. You discovered them recently. They're a South Carolina band, and where do they seem to be headed? Are they aiming for stardom? Obviously, that's what they would prefer. But I'm just wondering if it's small steps at a time, maybe, that they have to take.
It is small steps at a time that we have to take with any new band. Right now we're in the studio getting ready to record their first single that'll be on the Warriors, the album. It's called Where the Warrior Goes, and they have multiple different singles that we're going to release starting here at the end of December and at the first of the year. So once we sign them, which we did back in August, it's a matter of learning who they are as a band and getting kind of their image branded with Pearl Street Records. And then from there, we can kind of craft their music, their imagery, and then start promoting them here at the first of the year, getting them basically in the circuit, the music circuit, getting them booked and things of that nature. They already have a wonderful fan base. They have over 7,000 followers already on Facebook and their social media platforms. So here in the state of South Carolina, they have a huge following, and it's just a country outlaw band. It's kind of that traditional country, like a Waylon Jennings type feel to them, and it's a wonderful. Chris, the leader of the band, he's very humble. The whole group is very humble. They know that they're from a small town, and they recognize, the blue collar person out there, and they really hit home with just the average person in their music. So we really look forward to their music coming out. Especially, I'm producing their album, and just some of the tunes that they're putting together. They're really talented musicians.
You are the executive director of the South Carolina Entertainment and Music Hall of Fame. Most of us probably weren't aware of that, and we don't tend to think of South Carolina as being an entertainment or music center. So you've got an audience. Tell us why we should be informed about this.
Yeah, so South Carolina, a lot of people don't know, but has such deep history in the entertainment business. I mean, just recently, they've had people on some of these big entertainment shows like The Voice and American Idol and folks like those just recently coming out of the state. But we have a deep history, so we've inducted 62 entertainers and musicians since 1989. Folks like Chris Rock, Vanna White, Hootie and the Blowfish, the Marshall Tucker Band. And actually, in 1995, when we inducted the Marshall Tucker Band, we got national recognition. It was the first state Hall of Fame that got national recognition on Westwood One Radio, and CBS took it to their TNN network and broadcast it nationally, which then turned into a classic rock reunion that year right after the Hall of Fame. So the history in the state runs real deep in the entertainment business, and we're seeing that today over and over again, just with all of these upcoming American Idol and The Voice and stuff.
Now, I know that the South Carolina Entertainment and Music Hall of Fame is online. I'm looking at the website right now. It's at carolinafame.org, but there's also, I gather, a physical location. Where is that?
So we are trying to reestablish here in upstate. We did have a fire in 2013 in Georgetown where the physical building was, and our current location is that we've partnered with Pickens County Performing Arts Center, and we're doing a lot of events there, and that's where we're kind of housing our Hall of Fame currently. But we will have, in the upcoming years here, hopefully have a big established building that we're working on through fundraising and stuff. But currently all of our events and stuff that's happening is over there at the Pickens County Performing Arts Center.
And for those who don't know their South Carolina geography, that would be roughly the north and western portion of South Carolina, what's known in that area as the upstate, right?
Yes, sir. The upstate it is, and we're making a huge impact here, so we appreciate all the support.
And I know certainly that the Wounded Warrior Project appreciates the support that you are giving. It's a very important charity. I try to give to that every year, and I think that unfortunately far too much of the burden of defending our country falls on just a few families, just a few people in this country, and the absence of a military draft means that the burden of military service is not very evenly spread. So I'm afraid that there are many people out there for whom this is a very academic topic. Oh, they certainly are glad that these people are there, but it's not something they feel because they may not even know anybody who has served in the military.
That is correct. And getting, one, like music out there to people that people can relate to, like our latest tune, The Wounded Warrior, that is a country single that's coming out with country legend Zack, who wrote for numerous country artists, Travis Tritt, Kenny Rogers, Keith Whitley. So using folks like that to help push the voice out there for these veterans and getting just the average person that doesn't know about it, well, like, wow, I heard this song, that's amazing, where can I find more about, or how can I help support veterans? Just getting those tunes out there really puts it to the average everyday person so they understand.
Again, we're talking with Justin Williams, and he is Executive Director of the South Carolina Entertainment and Music Hall of Fame. They are online at carolinafame.org, and we were talking about a special free concert benefiting the Wounded Warrior program that will be taking place this Saturday morning. It'll be before the South Carolina Clemson football game, that annual rivalry contest, which is in Columbia, South Carolina this year, South Carolina being the home team. And again, this starts at about 9 a.m. For those who are going to be in the area, that'll be the South Carolina State Fairgrounds at 1200 Rosewood Drive, Columbia, South Carolina, Gate 12, at the intersection of Rosewood Drive and Bluff Road. While it is a free concert, there will be a tent there with t-shirts and such, and you'll have the opportunity to not only hear the nice music of Wits End with special guest Justin Anderson, but you can also benefit a most worthwhile charity, WoundedWarriorProject.org. Justin, thank you very much.
Jim, thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate that. And thank you for all the support that you give the veterans.